Hello neighbor, I'm Nathaniel. Welcome to Reluctant Sermonizing. So, it's November of 2020. We just had an election this week, and things are contentious. So it seemed like a good idea to talk about one of the more interesting phrases that keep coming back to me from the Bible. And they did what was right in their own eyes. The phrase was used in the book of Judges to denote when the people of Israel were doing something wrong, worshiping idols, or things of that nature. It was in contrast, presumably, to the idea of doing what's right in God's eyes. At least that's the sermons that I've heard. But here's the thing. We only ever get our own eyes. The people of Israel in these passages were doing, as far as they could tell, what was right. That's kind of a scary thought. It's very rare that we go around as people going, "Ooh, I'm going to do evil today." We tend to justify all of our actions. I'm going to get what's mine. Even that is an excuse of, I'm not getting what's mine and that's wrong, so I need to get what's mine. And that's a way of thinking that you're right. I don't think people are going around most of the time and even saying that. Usually, we all think we're being a bit more altruistic. And who thinks that they're the most altruistic? Dictators. Authoritarian regimes are filled with people who believe they're doing the right thing, a righteous thing. So why does this matter? It matters because we're a country divided, but we're united in this one thing. We're all trying to do what's right in our own eyes. All of us, no matter who you voted for. Usually, a sermon would turn at this point and try to give God's perspective, what's right in God's eyes. But none of us can see through God's eyes. And when we try, we're still just seeing through our own eyes and interpreting. There's no way to get around that. You have to interpret. You have to see through your eyes what you believe is happening through God's eyes. So what do? We can't stop arguing. We can't stop fighting and experimenting, because if we stop, then how do we figure out how to progress forward? But as we go, we can go with more humility. We can go knowing that probably some of the perspective that I'm bringing has inaccuracies in it, just like my neighbor. We also have to try to see through each other's eyes. How our neighbors get to where they are without judgment. Like, if I have a straw man understanding of my neighbor, then this isn't going to work. I have to think of my neighbor as fully human and understand how they get to their understanding of the world in a way that keeps them fully human in my mind. Another practice is to listen and observe ourselves as we listen. How does what they're saying affect us? Are we getting super angry about something that they're saying? Why does that make us angry? What are we actually scared of about what they're saying? Because if they're fully human, they're probably not just out to get us. So what is it that we're so scared of? Lastly, when we fight, because we will continue to fight, but as we do, we might make more progress if we do it through each other's eyes. If I want to be effective, I need to do it from your perspective. If you want to be effective, do it from my perspective. Maybe we'll find some common ground, but that's not going to be enough. We're going to have to keep working this out together. There very well may be some very dark times still to come. We need each other. All of us. I need you to think that I'm making arguments in good faith, and I need to think the same of you. Because in the end, we're all trying to do what's right in our own eyes. because they're the only eyes we got. Hey, thanks for watching. If you're interested in going into how we end up forming our thoughts on right and wrong and our morality and that sort of thing, I'd recommend Jonathan Haidt's book, The Righteous Mind. I'll put a link down in the description. My cousin recommended it to me, and it took me a little bit to get into it, but the ideas in there have stuck with me. It's really interesting. So yeah, well, thanks again. See ya.